Ghana. We need a developmental agenda that will transform Ghana into the next generational span. We need incorruptible, honest and visionary leaders to move our nation forward and demand accountability. We need good roads, potable water, jobs for the youth, schools, hospitals, factories and market centers for our women. Advanced technology
to fostering transparent and credible elections, but also our collective responsibility to ensure peace and stability in our nation. As the fourth estate of the realm, it is the responsibility of the media to report news to the people without any embellishment and allow the people to make their judgment. Since its inception in 2008, the Ideg-Cfi Situation Room, ESR, has, to the best of its ability, played a crucial role in coordinating field observers and monitoring the political landscape during elections. The ESR serves as a command center for receiving real-time reports from observers deployed across the country, enabling us to respond swiftly to any threat that may jeopardize the integrity of our electoral process. As we go to the polls in 3 days for our presidential and parliamentary elections under the Fourth Republic, our mission is more critical than ever. The 2024 Election Situation Room will act as a vital platform for disseminating information and expert analysis on election management bodies, security agencies, and the public. By doing so, we aim to enhance transparency and credibility in reporting the electoral processes and outcomes. We therefore invite all election observers, media representatives, and stakeholders to engage us as we outline mechanisms designed to uphold these values. In the light of recent challenges in our country, especially with misinformation and disinformation, we must come together as a community dedicated to safeguarding our democratic principles. It has become necessary now more than ever. The Situation Room will monitor and facilitate dialogue among all parties involved in this electoral process. Members of Ideg and CFI are also available to provide more information to the media, especially to inform the public on the analysis of the political and security situation as the days roll by. Together, let us affirm our commitment to democracy and the rule of law in our dear country. Thank you for being here today and for your unwavering dedication to fostering a peaceful electoral environment. And thanks for your attention.
Thank you very much, Madam Ayele Ade-Fiusecho. Please put your hands together for her. That was brief, concise. Thank you so much. Right, ladies and gentlemen, someone would ask the question, how did the Situation Room come about? What's the concept behind the Situation Room? And so we have an item on the program which is concept of Ideg-Cfi Civil Society Election Situation Room. And amongst us is our head of advocacy and institutional relations here at Ideg. And he's none other than someone who can actually delve into this issue and give us some food for thought. He's in the person of my own Prof Kwesi Jonah. Please put your hands together for him. Well, to make matters simple for myself, I'll simply say, distinguished ladies
and gentlemen, and all protocols observed. I am expected to address the question of what is the concept behind the civil society election situation room, and I'll be very, very brief. As we all know, election observation and monitoring have become an integral part of the electoral process in many democracies across the world, including Ghana. As a key component of the democratization process, elections have become sensitive national events due to the potential to trigger violence. In some sub-Saharan African countries, elections have contributed in various ways to conflicts and political unrest. The ability of countries to manage these threats and risks posed by elections is considered crucial in the sustenance of democracy. Traditionally, civil society organizations have played varying roles in the electioneering process through activities such as civic and voter education, observation of voting, among others. In recent times, these interventions have been expanded to include coordinated observation of polling stations on election day, collaboration with the electoral management bodies to maintain credibility of elections, information sharing, punditry on electoral issues for media organizations, engagements and coordination with security services to ensure peace and security before, during, and after elections. However, the proliferation of uncoordinated civil society activities presents diverse challenges to both the integrity and acceptability of electoral outcomes and the general peace and stability of the country before, during, and after elections. In response to these increasing risks and uncertainties and opportunities that elections present, Ideg and the Civic Forum Initiative, CFI, introduced the concept of election situation room in 2008 as a hub for the collection, collation, processing of field data, as well as the coordination of election activities and personnel. The election situation room therefore serves as an observatory for monitoring electoral activities, coordinating observers, disseminating information to educate the public with the aim of mobilizing citizens' participation in the management of electoral processes. The election situation room that we are just about to launch shall be operated on a minimum of 12 hours every day and extended to 24 hours during the election period from voting day to final declaration of results, in order to A, collect and collate information on election-related activities, particularly the incidence of violence from credible sources, and report to the National Election Situation Room based at Ideg here in Accra. B, to disseminate information on decisions made by the National Steering Committee of the CFI to members and the public. And C, to collaborate with and engage other credible civil society organization networks and state institutions. There are two main channels of communication in the election situation room: the internal and the external modes of communication. The internal focuses on the communication structure used by personnel in the election situation room, while the external deals with the mode of communicating information from the election situation room to the media and other stakeholders. The operations of the National Election Situation Room shall be formally brought to an end following directives from the Ideg-Cfi Steering Committee. This would normally be after the end of the elections, but informed by the prevailing and political and security conditions in the country. So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this is all I have to say on the concept of the election situation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof. I think you can do better than that. Thank you. Before I proceed, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of some personalities here. And we have in our midst Major General Carl Coleman, who is the former chair of the Civic Forum Initiative. Could you please put your hands together for him? Thank you very much for coming, sir. We also have Apostle Emmanuel Tete, General Secretary, GPCC, and also a member of the Civic Forum Initiative Steering Committee. And then we have Dalila Bencour, from the Swiss Embassy. Yes, thank you so much for making time to be here. We have Nana Santwa Afajinu Waxi, and also a member of the CFI. Thank you, Nana, for coming. We have Jonas Clias, Deputy European Union Delegation to Ghana. Thank you. He was one of the early birds, and we just had to keep waiting for the program to start. Thank you for your patience, sir. And last but not the least, Dr. Laurentia Japon. She's the Director of International Relations at UNIMAC. I would think so, and also a lecturer, and also a member of the Ideg panel of experts. Doc, you're very welcome. Thank you all for coming. In the course of the program, we would acknowledge a few more people. And we're also grateful to our media for making time to come and cover this program. We will be acknowledging you soon. We've come to that crucial part of the program, which is the keynote address, and of course the launch of the Situation Room. And I am privileged and honored to welcome my executive director, the founding executive director of the Institute for Democratic Governance, and he's going to speak on strengthening CSO coordination for credible and peaceful election outcomes. Please help me welcome Dr. Emmanuel Akwete.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Patrick, for the introduction. Exaggerated in many ways, but you know, I don't like flattery. It makes me shy and I get confused on what I have to say. But I can tell you that I'm very happy to see Waxi, Executive Director here, one of our funders. She always sent reps, but now that she's going to be in the Situation Room, you could tell that our results and what we say will be very credible. She's that thorough. And Afajinu, thank you for coming. It's good to see you. The keynote address they've written here has a number of paragraphs to read, but this is what I think I want to say. IDEG and a group of civil society organization leaders in 2008, which was a very, one of the elections we've had that scared everybody, and we thought our democracy would end. And so they came together. Historically, Reverend Digwe was then the General Secretary of the Christian Council. And we had Major General retired Coleman, who had been training soldiers at the military academy, but was on retirement also to join us. I've mentioned Nana Fajinu and many others who are not here. But we had representatives from the various other faith missions, and including the Catholic Secretariat was here in full force. And they have continuously changed leaders because they tend to retire those who sit on sorry, I don't want to say it. They retire their members on the Civic Forum early. It's a lot of hard work, but TUC and various other organizations had been part of this group. At that time, civil society situation rooms were uncommon. Now, 10 years, almost 2008, 14 years or something, 16 years on, civil society situation rooms have proliferated all over to the point that we now have a major state agency having set up situation room for the 2024 elections, and I mean the police. But the situation room concept, when it emerged, was that our people